This computer. All right. Hi, Lillian.
Hi, how are you, Leanna?
Good
Hi,
news.
everyone.
All right. We're
Hello.
just giving people a couple more minutes. I didn't know if anybody else was joining us tonight. And if not, trying to wait till 6:05. And she called me and said, my client's in labor. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and like I said, I had a different. I had 5:30 down, so I apologize. I'll have to. I have another commitment at 7, so I might have to cut us short. I originally had 5:30 to 6:30, but when I logged on at 5:30, and I was like, oh, this doesn't begin till 6. I was like, wait a minute. So, but it's okay. It's things happen, and I looked back and I corresponded to the email, and I selected the 5:30 spot, but it should be okay. It should give us enough time to still share the information and take some questions. If there's anyone who has questions or anything afterwards, I'm always happy to answer. They can she can email me whatever questions, or our email is on our website as well. So
Emerson, right? I'm sorry. I have a toddler who has painted herself with nail polish.
Oh, it's okay. I totally get it.
Go get your daddy. Lord, help me. Okay. So I guess we can go ahead. You can go ahead and get started, Lakeisha. That's fine.
Okay.
It should allow you to share the screen.
Okay. Well, first, I just want to say hello to everybody. I know I kind of heard everyone chiming in. I know some of you are driving. So just wanted to say hello and definitely thank you for having me and allowing me to share about HOPE. HOPE is an acronym, just in case if you do not know, it's spelled H.O.A.P, and it stands for Helping Our Adolescents Prosper. So a portion of our mission is in our name. Before I get started with sharing any other information, I do have a quick video. Let's see, only the host can share in the meeting. Okay, can you give me share, if I could share my screen, baby?
Hopefully that helped. I hit everyone. Multiple sharing. Let's see.
Okay. So let's see. Yep, that did help. Thank you so much. So I am going to show a video. This video was taken by Wood TV8. So I'm going to show this video quickly, if I can find where I got it right here, and then I'll chime in and go forward with my presentation. So hopefully everybody can see my screen okay? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't see anyone. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the
video.
It's a
safety net where we're preventing them from falling through the cracks.
It is a new program in West Michigan that's providing a stable home for young women who are pregnant or parenting and in need of a place to live. HOPE, or Helping Our Adolescents Prosper, launched a transitional home for mothers in May of this year. It's a program that young mothers say is impacting their lives in a positive way. And 24-hour News 8's Coco McAvoy has our report tonight.
Good evening. They're the face of the hidden homeless, young mothers, pregnant teens, not knowing where they'll sleep from one night to the next. But a new program called HOPE is working to change that, to give these moms and their babies a chance for a different, better life. Bright faces freckled red from cold winds. Good mornings and hellos coupled with the of the doorbell fill the space. But those sounds are quickly drowned out by rattling, playful banter. It's Saturday morning, and the first group session at the House of Hope is underway.
We're going to talk about our ground rules, so we're going to explore a lot of different things.
The organization runs solely on donations and was started by Lakeisha Gilbert, who was a teen mom herself.
So I made a choice to be a part of the change, to be a part of the solution, because I once was saw as a part of the problem.
The trio of women, Juana, Alea, and Zenaida, are all teen moms or soon-to-be moms, now living under a single roof to learn parenting skills.
I've been looking into it.
Alea takes college classes, cares for her 9-month-old niece, and in 4 months, she'll be a mom. The 19-year-old moved into the House of Hope after running from a place she says was filled with drugs and violence.
It's like me being pregnant. It's stressing. It doesn't make you feel confident that you can be the mother you want to be when you have your baby.
Juana came to the U.S. from Guatemala while she was pregnant with her son Erling. Now 2 years old. She wasn't able to care for him until she could find a stable home.
I keep praying, I keep praying, I keep praying, I keep positive. So
On April 5th, her prayers were answered. She was reunited with Erling, and they moved into the House of Hope the very next month.
when I see my baby, he said, Mama, Mama, he said, and he's crying, he look at my face. Oh my God, I'm here, baby, I'm here with you.
From birthday celebrations to home-cooked meals,
We're neutral about it.
the women are all here together to share in life's unique moments. Soon, the moms will have gathered enough skills to move on. And when that day comes, the front doors of the house that once symbolized a fresh start will mean a new beginning. The demand for the service has grown in the short time it's been available. Therefore, Hope plans to open their second home for mothers in January. In studio, I'm Coco McAvoy, 24 Hour News 8.
Okay, sorry. Let me get back to. So you ladies can hear me, okay?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So, that video, if you probably keep up with the news, you know Coco McAvoy has not been on Wood TVA for some years now. So that video was actually taken about a year and a half after we launched this program. So as you hear, I hear May, and I'm thinking, wow, that was some time ago. So Hope has been in operation for almost 9 years now. We're going to actually turn 9 on the 13th of June of this year. So we have been in operation for 9 years, and we have serviced so many more mothers. Those 3 that you saw there at that particular home were 3 of some of the first moms that came into our program. If you can see my little slideshow here that I have up, this is myself and my actual first child. So she's not quite that young on there, to be honest. I don't know how old she was. It was just kind of the first picture I could access to be able to incorporate with my slide today. So you heard in the video, I am a former teen mom myself. So much of what I do definitely comes from my compassion to serve the audience that I once stood in, and I'm very acclimated with walking that road and that journey, which incorporates some shame, embarrassment, and just the other host of things that can come up when you are a young mom with an unplanned pregnancy. So as you can see, we are a 501c3, so we are a nonprofit, and definitely we were created to be able to support and serve the young males and females, and I'll talk more about that shortly here, with personal development to overcome life's toughest challenges, because we need those services around. A lot of our individuals are dealt a hand that they're not equipped to be able to play out. So in terms of our purpose, mission, and vision, our main purpose is to definitely break the unhealthy generational cycles and curses. It's unfortunate, but as I stated, a lot of individuals are born into situations. And so we want to be there to be able to not just help the youth or adolescent, but we also try to advocate for the family as a whole. So our mission is to help them to be able to prosper and experience their greatest potential. I always live by the saying that whatever you've been through doesn't disqualify you. It actually qualifies you for whatever God allowed you to experience that process to equip you for your purpose. So we want to make sure that we remind these young mothers, as well as the at-risk youth that we serve, that, hey, just because you may have had a mistake or two or made a poor choice, it doesn't make you a bad person. So definitely our vision is to be able to give them an additional chance to be able to grow and accomplish their attainable goals. And so we walk alongside them through our programming in terms of offering educational and empowerment workshops and assigning them advocates and mentors to be able to help them navigate through that journey of life. I talk pretty fast, so I'm gonna try to slow down. If you guys have questions, please feel free to just chime in. I got my presentation up, so I really can't see raised hands unless our host wants to let me know if someone has a question. But don't feel like you have to wait to the end. If there's something you have a question about, I'm certainly more than happy to stop. So, as stated, the services that we provide right now, we've shifted gears. So when we first started out, we had the transitional home, which many of individuals know us by, which was the House of Hope. So I've had people call our program the House of Hope. The name of our program is Hope Inc. And that's an acronym that stands for Helping Our Adolescents Prosper. And obviously Inc. is just an abbreviation for incorporation. So the House of Hope was a part of our programming at the time. And that is when we were doing the transitional home to offer a safe and nurturing environment for young women who are either pregnant and or parenting one child up to age 5. So what we've done now is just put in more things to our program to help them navigate through the pathway to get to permanent housing. So while we know transitional housing and things of that nature are very much needed, we looked at some of our outcomes and the goals and things that we were measuring to say, hey, are we making an impact in this manner, or is there something else that we should be doing? What's missing, right? So when the whole world went on pause during the pandemic, it gave me some time as a leader of this organization to be able to think about what's been working well, what hasn't been working well, have some conversations, first and foremost with God. And then secondly, with my focus group and individuals who walk alongside me, my board of directors, to be able to adequately make the proper decisions about what we are implementing for the youth and audience that we serve. So what we found is that while transitional housing was excellent, we had a lot of individuals who were still either not successfully getting into their own permanent housing for different reasons, or we were helping them get into permanent housing, but for whatever reason, they were going back into a homelessness state within maybe 9 months to a year after getting into their own permanent housing. So we had to take a look at, well, what's happening, what's missing. So that's where we decided to implement some different topics and different discussions in our educational and empowerment workshops that we offer. Those have always been there, but we've, gotten more strategic about what we are teaching them and focusing on. So for example, we have topics that cover financial literacy, topics that cover anything from growth mindset, health and wellness, so a host of things that these young moms and at-risk youth need to be able to have the proper education and support on so that they can, really be equipped to sustain something. So most of you know yourself, it's one thing to get something, but it's another thing to be able to sustain and maintain what it is you're getting. So we definitely touched up some things there. We have a additional service that we offer, which is our Moms on Wheels transportation service. That's a non-emergency service of support. And we implemented that to be able to help these young moms and their children get to non-emergency appointments. So anything from being able to get to the grocery store, to a doctor's appointment, WIC appointment. If the kids, they need help getting their babies to childcare, if they have like a interview or need a ride to work, we're able to have our transportation service be able to assist them with that, because we know that lack of transportation, I should say, is one of the number one reasons why individuals are stricken to poverty, because you're so limited to what you can accept, be it a job opportunity or even where you can live and things of that nature. And I know that, we have public transportation, but I often tell people we'll give bus passes and things of that nature, but we live in Michigan. Let's not forget that, right? So you try getting out there with a 2-3 month old baby, a car seat, diaper bag, your purse, the stroller, and catch a bus. If you got to be somewhere by 8, you got to catch the bus at 5 in the morning to even arrive to where you need to be. So, while it is an option, it's not an option for everyone. So we have been able to do a lot with helping these young moms navigate and get to where they need to be so they can do what they need to do. Any questions so far about anything?
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna keep it rolling then. So just buckling it down. So I mentioned earlier on, we provide services for youth, at-risk youth, and adolescents. So our service age range is 13 to 24. Most of our at-risk youth fall between the ages of 13 to 17. So our basic essential needs program really focuses more on our young mothers. Now we will help mothers who are below the age of 18, but right now, most of our moms in our program fall between 18 to 24. And it is our goal to be able to help them with affordable housing. So we still do help with support housing. We just don't necessarily, we haven't opened up any more transitional spots. So what we have is occupied, and we will not open up anything else transitional, as now we move more toward having opportunities for permanent housing. So once you go through our program and you complete the program and you've got yourself to a predicament where you can sustain your own permanent housing, then we can help you go into your own permanent housing versus just living in the transitional housing. And let me just back up real quick, because I forgot to share this information. So our average length of stay, that used to be a very commonly asked question. Individuals will want to know, well, how long does a young mom usually stay in your program? Well, usually young moms stay in our program on an average of 6 to 7 months. The longest length of stay we had was 2 years. And the young lady that stayed for 2 years was a young lady that you saw in the Wood TV 8 video, who was saying that she got reunited with her baby. She was actually our first participant to come into our home. And she was there for 2 years with her son. But when she left, she had a job that she was working full time. She went into subsidized housing. I believe Camelot Manor, actually. She ended up moving out there. And she had everything in line. She had gotten child care, got her son in child care, and was receiving subsidy to be able to assist with that. So she had everything, she needed to be able to move out and to continue to grow and be prosperous. So other things that we try to focus on is helping them to complete their education. We know that that's very key. So to make yourself to be more employable, you at least need to have your high school education or, your GED. We do try to increase enrollment in post-secondary education. However, this is not something that we push on everybody. We don't say, everybody needs to go to college. Everybody should go to college, because that's not the case. Depending on what you are planning on doing is what you need to base, what your second training skills, or if there is a need for secondary education, then that's something that we will help advocate for them to get into that. We definitely look at ways to help them increase their employability so that they can increase their income, because that's a major barrier as well. A lot of these young moms are unable to afford their own permanent housing because of lack of income. And then obviously we try to help them prevent repeat unplanned pregnancy. So when you get ready to bear your next child, you can be in a better situation and predicament, and it won't be such a strain on trying to care for them. Our at-risk youth, again, range usually ages 13 to 17. We collaborate with different places like Covenant House Academy. This is some pictures here where I went in and did some workshops there with some of now these young ladies in this particular picture, they are at-risk youth as well as moms. So every young lady in the picture that you see is actually a mother as well. So we partner with them. We also partner with the Kent County 17th Circuit Court. So we have a relationship where we facilitate to the juveniles and individuals and their programs to be able to just really help them prosper through their lived experiences. And again, just to give them hope so that they don't feel like they've been counted out just because, you've made some poor decisions. And or just remembering that each one of these youth who are living in these different programs haven't necessarily committed a crime. Some of them have had to unfortunately be removed from their home fronts because their dynamics was unsafe or whatever the situation was, and maybe possibly they are a victim of different types of abuse and things of that nature. Sorry about that. So in closing, this is some contact information. I forgot to put our website on here, so forgive me, but I'll make sure that I get all that information over to Kiera. I believe I've been corresponding with her via email. And we do have something coming up that I didn't put on my screen, but I'm going to share it with you guys. If you give me a quick second just to find it. Let's see, where's my photos at? Right now, we just actually today launched our, where are your photos at when you need them? We just launched our Blessed Baskets spring appeal. So Blessed Baskets, we are collecting items to be able to fill these baskets up. Every year we do like Easter baskets around Easter for our young moms and the youth and things of this nature. So this particular event is going on for the younger babies. And so we will be making their Easter baskets with some of the items that you see featured here in the flyer, as well as some other items that is on our Amazon list. I'll share the link and information and all that stuff with Kier. So if anybody is interested in wanting to support, there's also other ways to support through just giving a in-kind donation through our website or, Cash App, Venmo, so on and so forth. But I figured at least I would just share that because that's something that we definitely try to focus on, helping them with their basic essential needs. And this was something that became more of a demand, especially during the pandemic when a lot of our young moms were becoming, unfortunately, unemployed. And just, again, the whole world went on pause and a lot of people didn't know when and where the next dollar or meal was going to come from that we serve. And so that really caused for us to kick in and say, hey, how can we help, provide food security and, meet some of the basic essential needs so our families are not going without during this unfortunate time. So I'm going to bring myself back to the Zoom. Okay. All right. And I'm open for any questions. Move this way, please. And thank you. Any questions that any of you may have at this time, I can certainly do my best to try to answer. If you, one thing I didn't share, if you want to know in terms of, what you ladies do, which thank you so much for the work that you guys are doing and the life-changing impact that you're having on individuals doing natural births and just teaching us about some of the different things. Because even me, as an adult, didn't know a whole lot about what some of these medicines and things of that nature can do to you while you're, you think you're going to the hospital and you're supposed to be safe. Well, a lot of us don't have knowledge to know the difference between what some of these medications can have a cause on. So I do appreciate all of the great work that you are doing. Most of our young moms come into our program, and for the most part, I would say probably at least 85% of them come in and they are receiving prenatal care if they're expecting, but there is a small percentage, anywhere from 12 to 15%, that sometimes come in and they have not gone and gotten any type of prenatal care, for their pregnancy. And sometimes they're well on their way to their second trimester. So we do try to push that, but unfortunately, until they come into our program, we really don't know where they are with things. But during the intake process, we're able to ask those questions and say, hey, are you receiving prenatal care? What does that look like? And be able to advocate on their behalf for those purposes. So, okay, that's it. I'm open now for any questions or any thoughts or anything anybody has.
First, I'll say thank you for sharing and being here and talking with us about your organization. It's definitely a resource that we can tap into with our clients because we have clients of all ages. My question is, what are the requirements for being a part of the program?
So really, we really don't have any major requirements. I mean, if we have a young mom, she doesn't have to be in our housing program or anything like that because we serve, through our outreach community program. If it's a young mom who, hey, she has a place to stay, but yet she needs some support with getting that education and the empowerment and just having an advocate, someone to help her be able to navigate through the different resources that are available in the community, we will still take her. So we try to stay within our target age range, but to be honest with you, I have helped ladies who were near my age, which I don't care about telling my age, but this lady, unfortunately, she was in her early 40s and just had experienced a situation and she needed help. So we are not opposed to helping anybody who needs help. But again, our target age range is the 13 to 24. So to answer your question, if they're pregnant and or parenting and they need some support, that's all they need to really, come into our program. And for the at-risk youth side of our things, if you're a young youth and you just feel like, hey, I need some support. I would like a mentor. I would like to be engaged in, some sort of groups and workshops and things just for that peer mediation and get connected with some other youth in my community. I mean, that's all you need is a desire to want to be, connected, and we're there.
Cool. That's great. Trying to think, is there any other questions? that I have. Does anyone else have
Mhm.
any other questions while I'm thinking?
I don't have any questions. I wish that I had known about this program a few months ago. Had a client that ended up moving out of Michigan because she was homeless and she
Mm.
couldn't stay here, so she ended up moving to
Um,
Kansas and had her baby there. So I wish I had known about this program before.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, well, thank you. We'll be sure to make sure you guys get all the information. So if you have situations, you can definitely refer young moms. And again, like these baskets and things that we're making up, these are not just for our moms and our program. Our goal is to be able to give away 100 of these blessed baskets. So if there are moms that you all are servicing, and we can be of a blessing to those moms, we would definitely love to be able to share that resource, because that's the whole purpose of us doing this, to be able to extend our reach into the community and just be a blessing. The word says it's more blessed to be able to give than to receive. So
I was trying to think of another question. Um, as far as like your Moms on Wheels program, does that help with getting like driver's license as well? Like if mom needs help getting her driver's license, is that something that you guys can help assist them with, or is it just for like to and from places?
yep. So that's an excellent question. Moms on Wheels transportation really is just to provide that non-emergency transportation support. However, through our programming, if somebody had a need to be able to, obtain their driver's license, then we usually can assist with that through our advocacy. So when a young mom comes into our program, she is assigned an advocate. So then the advocate, goes over, what are your goals, and kind of helps her, navigate those things. What do you need help on? And then if that's something that young mom says, like, hey, I don't have my license, or maybe I had my license, but I'm in a situation, I don't even know what I need to do to get them back, like whatever that need is. But then that advocate can serve as a connector. So the advocate can say, well, let's see if there are programs out here to be able to assist with that. Let's contact the DMV, get your driving record pulled, what's on your record, what do we need to do? And or if it's someone who's never had a driver's license, look up and try to figure out what programs will be best. Is it cost efficient? And then the way that we can sometimes support, depending on what our funding looks like, because as a nonprofit, obviously we get some grant funding, we get some donations and things of that nature. So if we have funding to be able to support some of that, then that's kind of where we can support and say, oh, this young mom needs to get her driver's license. Well, it's $375 for her to take the test. This isn't money that normally our moms have laying around to be able to allocate to that, because they are trying to cover rent or other expenses. And so we might be able to say, well, we can sponsor that young mom and pay for that for her, or something of that nature.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anything else? Y'all quiet. I know it's after 5, baby. Everybody tired. I ain't even mad at you. I promise you I'm not. So, and I know sometimes when things just don't register when you're in the moment. But if anybody has any questions or anything after the fact, like I said, I'll certainly be having the contact information be shared. So I'm open if you want to email me individually, or email Kiera first, or our new lovely host here. I'm fine either way.
I guess one last question. Do you have
Sure.
do you know about how many moms you've helped?
Yes, so we have serviced year to date like 40 moms, and the last time I counted, like 56 living children, which means that they were alive when they came into the program, not necessarily the moms who were expecting. And so in total, the last year, 2021, including our young moms as well as the at-risk youth, we served a total of 292 youth and adolescents in 2021. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
That's a good question, though. Yeah, that is good. Like who you helping out here? You say you helping, but who are you helping? And so I often think that, to be honest, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, man, like 33, 36, that's not really that many moms. But then when I think about the way our program is set up, I'm like, it really is, because if I think about the fact of the length of stay that some of them were in our program, You know, it's just like that's good. And then sometimes I have to think to myself too, like, I don't even really want to be proud to say that we've had to help 1,000 moms with housing, because I would hope that 1,000 of them wouldn't be in that situation, but better to see our numbers decreasing so that we know that what we are doing is effective. So I had to start looking at it from that angle, because I used to be like, man, we need to do this and we need to do that. I'm like, but you don't focus on the quantity, you focus on the quality, because I would much rather help 10, if it was even only 10 of them, to be able to be sustainable and move forward to be prosperous and have what they need, than to say I've helped 1,000 and they're still in situations and they keep reverting back. You know what I mean? So it's really been a blessing. And our young moms, they really keep us on our toes, and our at-risk youth too, because we do a lot of program planning with them. And what I mean by that is asking them, you know, what do you need? What do you need help with? And, you know, what do we need to implement so that we can make sure that, you know, we're not just thinking that we have the answers, because we can say, oh, they need this, they need that. But if you're never having the conversation with who you're trying to help, you really can't say what they need, because everybody don't need help with housing. Everybody don't need help with transportation. But we have moms who have their own place and who have transportation, but they love coming to our workshops because they don't really have a place that they can go that's intimate enough where they feel safe to take their mask off and really just say, oh my God, y'all don't know what kind of week I had. I really felt like giving up. You know, because life, especially with this whole social media thing, and Lord, that's a whole nother thing, so I don't even want to get on that soapbox, but you know, it portrays that living this glamorous lifestyle, you know, like, oh, you know, like ain't nobody having no issues. Like, shoot, everybody going through something. I don't care who you are, I don't care what your income status is, we are all faced with different dilemmas. And so I just like the fact that, like I said, when they come to the workshops, it's an intimate environment. We feed them, so we eat together. We provide childcare, so they're able to bring their kids if they need to. We provide the transportation for them to get there if they need to. So we try to eliminate any barriers that if a young mom has a desire to come and fellowship with us and get educated and empowered on some things, then we welcome you. You know, come on out, let's fellowship. And a lot of them end up befriending each other and becoming each other's support system, because a lot of them are dealing with the same thing, and they can be what I like to call raw with each other, you know, meaning to just keeping it real and wholesome. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to come in here and fake the front and act like I got everything together, because I don't.
Great.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure that I thought I saw somebody raise their hand, but I don't know if I did or not.
I don't have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I don't have a question. I just have a comment. I just want to say thank you for the work that you do, and thank you for coming to make us aware of this. Because like Flora said, I think this would be a really great resource for us to have for our clients. And hopefully we won't come across anyone who will need it. But if we do, it's great to know that resource is out there in the community to serve moms.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to say that. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or want to say anything before our guest speaker has to log out?
No, I also want to say thank you. This is an awesome program, and I will definitely keep in mind this program in the event that one of my clients is in need. So I'm grateful for this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you also taking the time to say that. Thank you.
Well, like Christy said, thank you so much. Also,
hey, Christy. I appreciate you
for all your hard work. Me and Miss Lakeisha go way back, y'all.
Oh,
and
we go way back.
When I tell y'all she the truth, she's the truth.
Oh, baby, bless you. I love you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
You.
I'm so proud of you too. Yeah,
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if there are any other questions or statements or anything, I know you have another commitment. So
yeah, I'm sorry, y'all.
No, that is okay. This was great information and a great presentation, and definitely a resource that can keep in our pockets for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, great. Then thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And if anyone has any questions after the fact, or anyone who was not able to join us tonight for whatever reason, and they view it and they have questions, you can either give them the email to reach out to us directly, or if you guys just want to send the questions, and I'm happy to be able to provide any clarity or answer any questions that I can. So thanks again for the opportunity to share.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You guys have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.